Hello and welcome to YourTown television program. My name is Jeff Kline and I'm your host for this segment in which we feature interesting people and research at the Naval Postgraduate School. This segment is now being hosted by the Naval Postgraduate School Foundation, and our first guest is the Executive Director of that foundation, Captain Tim Callaham. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Tim, before we start talking about the foundation and all the things it does for both the school and for the local community, I'd like to sort of focus on you for a little bit. You just recently joined the foundation within the last little bit over a year ago now. But before that, you were in the Navy as well. Tell us a little bit about what you did in the Navy.
So I retired last year as a Navy captain, 27 years and some change, career surface warfare officer. So like most ship drivers, I spent my first 4 to 5 years at sea. And then my first shore tour in the Navy was at the Naval Postgraduate School as a student.
Oh, really? What did you study?
Mechanical engineering.
Good for you.
So I wasn't on the golf links much. And then after that, I went back to sea for another 4 years as chief engineer on 2 ships. And
did that correlate with the study of mechanical engineering?
That correlated with study of mechanical engineering. Naval engineering is the program. And so,
sure.
So great. And then proceeded on to all the other things that surface warfare officers do. And
well, now you did a lot of great things there. You commanded ships as well. Tell us about that.
So I went off and was an XO on a destroyer, and my first command was a little different than most surface warfare officers. I commanded a ground unit in Afghanistan called the Provincial Reconstruction Team that had Navy and Army forces. And we helped a province in Afghanistan and helped our government connect to the people and build infrastructure and do things like that. And then later went on to command a squadron of ships forward deployed in Diego Garcia, which is out in the middle of the Indian Ocean and an interesting place to be. It was actually a really enjoyable tour.
Now, we don't actually own that island, do we? Isn't that a British protectorate? Or?
Yeah, it's a British territory, so they own the island, and we just use it through mutual agreement.
Well, that's a fascinating. Now, was that your last job before you came here?
No, my last job, I worked as essentially the Pacific Fleet LNO to Coast Guard Pacific area up in Oakland. So
LNO is liaison officer?
The liaison officer. Yeah.
Really? What did you do in that job?
The Coast Guard has a significant role in DoD and defense-related issues in addition to their Homeland Security mission. So I just coordinated that effort between Pacific Fleet and the Coast Guard.
And you were actually up in Alameda to do that?
I was up in Alameda.
Now, are you from California originally?
I'm a Navy brat, so I grew up everywhere, different places. I graduated from high school in Mississippi, went to college here in California.
Well, where'd you go to school?
California Maritime Academy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So just up the coast. That's
just
fantastic.
Up the coast. And then I married a local girl here while I was a student at the Naval Postgraduate School. So.
Showing that you can get an education and at the same time enjoy yourself as well. That's fantastic. So how was it? You came back to the Monterey area because of this offer of the executive director of the MPS Foundation.
Yep.
Now, most foundations in the area, particularly when they're related to an educational institution, support the research of that institution in various ways. But our foundation is a little bit different. Can you tell us a little bit about what it does and what its purpose is?
Well, most higher education institutions and actually undergraduate institutions all have foundations that are the private fundraising arm for the school. Mm-hmm. And so every service academy, war college in the military educational system has a foundation. Typically, our foundation has supported the school through awards, faculty and student awards, student enrichment through speaking series, information exchange programs, and stuff like that. Recently, in the last year, we're moving into the area of research. And so we've instituted what we call a Defense Innovation Fund, which is basically, it is modeled on a venture capitalist startup idea where professors who have an idea that haven't had time to mature it, can bring that idea forward, get a small sum of money from the foundation gifted to the school to develop that idea in hopes that it will either be picked up by DoD funding or another funding source to mature and fully grow that research.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic opportunity for the faculty. Now, do students get involved in that effort as well?
Well, the students are involved in it as part of their thesis research. So if the faculty comes in with an idea, they'll certainly bring in their research students there to support them in that effort.
Are there some examples you might be able to give us of at least what areas people are looking at?
Yeah, so last year in 2016 was the first year that we started it. And we had about 31 projects that came forward, were evaluated, got initial funding, developed some case statements and project plan, and about 12 of those really were ready to go further into future funding. So they cover areas like cyber defense, climate change, which is one of them that was actually picked up fairly rapidly for DoD funding. Infrastructure, defense acquisition. So we cover the gamut, both technical and management type programs.
Well, now it's interesting. You bring up climate change, for example, because a lot of people don't realize that climate change has a large impact, particularly on the Naval Service. You're supporting ideas and activities that would support defense and naval operations themselves. Can you tell us a little bit how climate change might affect some sort of naval operation?
Well, it really has to do with the ocean. Salinity. I'm not an oceanography major, but it really deals with the environment of the ocean and how that affects defense-related missions for the ships that are operating out there.
Well, those sounds like great things. Now, tell us a little bit about the awards that you present to faculty and students.
We have a pretty wide range of awards. It can be anything from the best thesis to the student to the best research for the faculty. So we cover all of those areas for each of the different colleges within the Naval Postgraduate School, whether it's the engineering school or science program or management.
Now, as a federal government entity, the Naval Postgraduate School, and you mentioned some of the university or academic academies, that also have foundations. But who are your membership of the foundation? I mean, who and do you inspire to join, and who actually can join?
So, the foundation is a nonprofit 503c.
So it's separate from the government.
So
entirely,
it is a non-federal entity, and we're separate from the government. So we support the school through the gift process. So we will gift money to the government, and then they go through the acceptance process, and then it's used by the school. Our members are, of course, students, faculty, staff, alumni, but the community can be supporters as well and be members of the foundation. Oh,
so someone can join the foundation just as part of the community as well?
Absolutely. If you have an interest in the Naval Postgraduate School and want to connect with the school, the foundation is the means to do that.
Well, tell us about some of the events that you have.
Well, we have two big community relations events. The first one that's coming up here in August is the American Heroes Charity Golf Tournament, hosted out at the Monterey Peninsula Country Club. And so that's a big golf event, but we really bring in veteran-oriented charities, mostly Wounded Warrior type things, Warrior Canine Connection, Homes for Our Troops, Navy SEAL Foundation, all come in and sponsor that with us. And it's a great way to come out, enjoy golf in the Monterey area, support not only the school, but a lot of great veteran charity organizations, and the money from that goes back into not only the school but all of those organizations.
So the organizations come and help sponsor it, and then you raise money through people participating in the golf tournament?
Yeah, there's two events. There's the golf tournament, which we'll raise money through the sign up of that, and then there's a dinner that evening with prizes and raffles and donations as part of that dinner.
And when is that normally held?
That is August 14th and 15th.
Oh, of this year. So how do people find out about it if they want to sign up?
If you want to sign up, go to our website, which is www.npsfoundation.org. Okay. And information for that one, as well as the next one, which is our Grand Winter Ball.
Oh, tell us about the Grand Winter Ball.
So the Grand Winter Ball is really our premier community relations event. It's held at the old Del Monte Hotel, which is now Herman Hall at the Naval Postgraduate School, in what we call the Barbara McNick Ballroom. And we come in and we dress that up, and we bring in snow. So as you come in, you have snow there in Monterey.
So you have snow in Monterey as you walk forward to the building.
Yeah,
is
snow
right?
in Monterey, and a great reception, and then we move into the ballroom and have dinner and dancing and all that kind of stuff.
Now that's
so
a black tie affair, is that right?
It is a black tie affair,
yeah.
Absolutely. And the biggest part of that is you really get to connect with the students, because the students will be there. They'll be all decked out, ready to have
Well,
fun.
what do you mean by decked out?
In their mess dress uniforms, and they're ready to have fun and tell the community about the military and what we do.
So that's fantastic. So again, that's open to the community,
Yep.
and they sign up the same way, either visiting the website or do you have any public announcements that come out based on that?
We will certainly reach out to all our members or people that have connected with us before, but the best way is through the website, and we'll put out locally as well.
Now, being a member of the Naval Postgraduates Foundation not only allows you to participate in those events, but also at times you invite them to special speaking engagements on campus as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So for open public events, we'll bring people in to hear lecture series at the school. We'll have quarterly socials where you can connect with faculty and the students. And as part of this Defense Innovation Fund, stewardship is a huge piece of that for folks that want to donate to the foundation and support defense-related research. So we'll, as this program gets moving, we'll start doing semi-annual engagements with the folks that contribute so they can learn more about the research that's happening at the school.
So you're talking about those that are in your venture capital movement, those projects that are picked up and funded might do briefings or presentations to the local community as well.
Absolutely, and we'll invite all our foundation members in for that. You know, the key is, you know, we have to work on access to the base, but we can overcome those kinds of things.
Sure. Now that's done, and that's why you need to do it in advance and know people are coming and that sort of thing. Well, that's great. Now, had you returned to the school between the time you graduated as a lieutenant and a mechanical engineer, and now, had you returned to the school to visit at all?
Oh, well, throughout my career, I've come back here several times.
Oh, because your wife's family.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Absolutely. And I've had jobs in the Navy that have brought me back professionally to the school to coordinate certain things with them. So it was.
So how did you find out about the executive director's position?
A friend of mine sent me an email and said, "Hey, if you're interested in staying in California, this might be a good job for you." And so I threw my name in the hat, and lo and behold, they hired me. So
now, part of your job, a lot of it is both local and countrywide outreach. So because there's a lot of alumni to Naval Postgraduate School all over the world, actually, do you offer membership to them as well? And if you do, how do you reach out to them?
Well, we reach out to our alumni and to all our members really through social media, so LinkedIn, Facebook, those kinds of things.
So you have a Facebook page as well?
We do. And we'll be starting a new quarterly newsletter here this fall, and we'll get that out. So that'll help connect with the folks. One of the things we're looking at is doing more institutional outreach around the country. Really, in the last couple of years, we've been focused locally. So get out and connect with our alumni, because, as you know, our alumni is all over the world. So.
Sure. And pretty soon you're going to have a YourTown video that you can also use for outreach as well.
Absolutely.
To let people know what's going on and how the foundation interacts with the school and how they support the school. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to you a little bit personally again. Although you, of course, sort of married into the community, what do you enjoy most about the Monterey County you're living here?
Oh, I love boating. My parents retired out here. My dad I'm a second generation Naval Postgraduate School alumni.
Oh, is that right? Your dad graduated from it. Now, what did he study?
He studied oceanography and meteorology.
Okay, great.
So we do a lot of boating here on Monterey Bay and up in San Francisco area. And
do you own your own boat?
Not anymore.
Oh. Well, that is quite an investment in some cases. That's true.
It is.
And so your family's still here as well?
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I know that you also invite people at times to special events and to actually tour the campus when that's available, and the local community need to keep their eyes open for those events and those opportunities as well. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I would like to invite you to visit both the Naval Postgraduate School Foundation website that Captain Callaham was talking about with us today. There's all kinds of great events that you can sign up for, both the Winter Ball and the well, now tell me about the golf course itself. I'm sorry, the golf game, the golf event. Where is that actually held?
It'll be at the Monterey Peninsula Country Club up in Pebble Beach.
Oh, okay, so it is actually in the Pebble Beach area.
Correct.
Do they donate their time for that as well?
Yes, they do.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, what a great venue to actually have just a fantastic event. And where do you think that the foundation will be going in besides larger outreach? Where do you think you'll be going into the future?
Well, I think that we'll be growing the foundation to support the research at the school. That's really where we want to grow. As we see discretionary research dollars decrease for the school, the foundation would like to come in and be able to make up that difference.
So combining both the research interest and finding good ideas and maturing them, plus ensuring that both our regular funding areas, Office of Naval Research, the Navy staff in Washington, D.C., etc., learn about those are a major focus area.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. I'd like to enjoin the community again to think about supporting our sponsorship. And Tim, thank you very much for your support of this particular program, because in a way this will be part of that outreach. Although your presence here today allows us to learn more about the foundation, your support of this particular program also has local outreach to the local community. They're able to see both faculty, research, they're able to see NPS leadership like yourself, and then we'll be highlighting students' activities. All we'll see in the following segments from your interview.
Great.
So thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
And I'd like to thank you for sharing this segment of YourTown television program. Again, visit that website, the NPS Foundation website, or look for it on Facebook, and take a look at the great activities that you can participate at the Naval Postgraduate School and take advantage of being part of the local community supporting both our nation and our Navy's research and education. Thank you.